Hi, I'm Paul Keizer and I'm the CEO of Engage Consulting. For the last 14 years, the Pakistan Society of Human Resource Management, together with Engage Consulting, have made an effort to really raise the awareness level of the importance of engaging employees. We did that by publishing every 2 years the Best Place to Work survey. In 2021, it was our 8th edition. We had 290 companies nominating themselves, and at the end, 166 participated. 40,000 employees answered our survey across 16 different industries. We've got a tremendous amount of data that we would like to share with the community so they can continue to improve employee engagement in Pakistan. In October 2021, we organized the Best Place to Work Award Gala. More than 50 companies were recognized as the best places to work across many different industries. The first prize, the second prize, and the third award. In addition, a number of special categories and most preferred employers chosen by talent in Pakistan were being recognized. It is important for us to share and to ask those companies, what have you done in order to become a best place to work? For that reason, we've interviewed 6 winners, and we would love to share their stories.
The best place to work in the pharma life sciences industry. The winner for 2021 is Novo Nordisk Pharma Private Limited. I request Mr. Rashid Rafiq Butt to please come on stage, the Vice President, the General Manager, representing his team of Novo Nordisk Pharma Private Limited.
I would like to introduce Noman Javaid. He's the HR Director of Novo Nordisk. That company has grown tremendously over the last number of years. And at the same time, their engagement level has gone through the roof. Last year, they won 3 awards. Let's hear from Noman how they did that.
So welcome to our Best Place to Work interviews. Today we're having a conversation with Noman Javaid from Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk has been winning Best Place to Work awards in the many actually over the last couple of years. Congratulations with that, Noman, and I'm very pleased for you to join this conversation. Tell me, was it a specific moment that the company decided to opt for Best Place to Work, or is it something that just grew over a number of years?
So, Paul, honestly, when I was thinking about this year's award, I thought we never thought about any award throughout the year. It was very subtle. It was very. It has become part of culture. So first time we won this award back in 2017, then 19, and now in 2021 as well. I think it has become part of our culture that we continue to do practices which help us winning. And I would like to share all those practices later on. But I think it's pretty subtle. It has now become part of culture that we continue doing.
Okay. Was it something that set it off, or was it just a step-by-step approach that got you there?
So as I said, there was no step-by-step. There is no preparation or setup to that award-winning stage as well. It was all things that we do in a routine since past 3 or 4 years, and that's what we've been doing. Honestly, maybe in my previous organizations, I've seen certain practices that we want to do, and we do that. But at Novo Nordisk, a lot of it is pretty subtle. That helped us winning not just Best Place to Work, but some of the other prestigious awards in the industry as well.
Oh, fantastic! So help the viewers to understand what some of those subtleties were. What helped, in your view, create that environment that became the best place to work?
Sure. I think the best thing the difference that I've seen in this company versus where I've worked so far is a lot of interaction. We interact frequently with employees. We don't let our employees speculate over things, whether it is related to product performance or any decision related to people or benefits or anything. We just communicate upfront. I remember one of the One of the main examples of it would be in January or February 2020, when COVID was hitting us very badly or started to hit us. The CEO announced immediately that as long as COVID is there, there will be no layoffs in the organization. So
Oh, wow.
instead of people speculating, oh, I will lose my job, how many others will lose
Yeah.
the job?
Yeah.
X company is doing. Don't let employees speculate. Communicate, and communicate very early.
And is that then across different levels? Does it go throughout the organization, because you're geographically spread, of course? So how do you do that?
Sure, Paul. It's a benefit of having a small organization, because it's about 300 employees organization. I would still say it's a small organization. So all message goes through the top leadership. The 9 people of the management team, they are the custodian of cascading the information. We don't let the managers sort of communicate firsthand. It's us who communicate, so that message is loud and clear. And then, of course, they give a lot of emphasis in their team meetings. But the 9 people, GM, they're responsible for communication. That's the model we follow.
And apart from that communication, and there's an example of upfront communicating that no one will lose their job. Many GMs or many company leadership teams would be a little bit hesitant to make that kind of commitment. What is driving that kind of clarity in terms of commitment to employees?
Yeah, Paul, I think it's the intrinsic confidence that management has in the portfolio or the pipeline of products that organization has. Let me give you another example. In June 2020, again, when forget about expansion, forget about sustainability, organization were actually contracting. They were laying off people. They were not following the plans that they had in the pipeline. We launched our product. It was all virtual because there was no possibility. So we did that. In 2021, we launched one more product, and in 2022, we have another research-based molecule coming to Pakistan. So it's the confidence that we have, number one, in our product portfolio, because it is very strong. And I think number 2 is the kind of people that we have. So right now I'm talking to you, all sales team, all the employees in the company are in Lahore to celebrate year 2021, and exactly the time when organization was struggling. So a lot of energetic people and a strong product portfolio. I would think these two are making a good combination for us.
Awesome. Well, but best place to work is not just measuring in terms of whether people are proud, the energy level, etc. It's also measuring the alignment. It's also measuring in terms of career progress that you're providing, or diversity that you're providing. People feeling emotionally safe. Well, can you give me a little bit of background in terms of what on those specific elements you think you have done that people feel rate you so highly, your employees rate you so highly?
Sure. So we focused a lot on developing people. That's probably a cliche you would be hearing from a lot of people, and same is the case that I'm sharing with you. But then after developing them, we don't sort of kept them unattended. We pulled them up the ladder. We promoted them. So 90% of our supervisory roles in past 2 years were filled internally. No manager or hardly any manager came from outside, only 10% of it. So they're also very motivated that they will be getting a lot of developmental opportunities. They will be promoted up the ranks. So that's very important part of it. And you also spoke about the alignment part. That communication bit I spoke to you earlier is something that is proving to be an extremely good formula, because a lot of trust exists between management team and employees. So there's no virtual distance between the two entities of the organization.
And do you see that as the key in order for people to have that engagement level and that motivation with the organization?
Absolutely, Paul. My formula and my organization formula of employee engagement is very simple. You engage them, and how you engage them is simply you keep talking to them. And this is a favorite statement of mine that I keep saying. Don't let them speculate. Communicate with them. So there are a lot of difficult questions that come to us, and we're very open about that. This is what we can do, and this is what we cannot do. So similarly, we communicated people that nobody will be laid off. Probably organization would be reluctant in communicating that, but we did that upfront, and people have a lot of trust in that. I think the beginning point to the employee engagement for us is the trusting relationship between the two entities.
Mhm. How important is leadership, or in this case, the managing director of the company, in terms of driving employee engagement?
So as I said, the interaction, most of the interaction is of course done by the general manager. All the town halls on the interaction that happening, the upfront culture that we have in the organization. Of course, if GM or the CEO is not practicing that in the organization, no matter how consistent I am with my statements, probably everyone is looking at the CEO, and he is the one who's driving the change or the communication or the engagement culture. So he is the custodian of this culture. So just to give you an idea, it's again I understand it's a statistical number, but about 3 times that he engages sales team in a month. Some people say it's a lot. I would say there's no over communication. There's always a right communication for us, and this is the right number for us.
Fantastic. Any other coming into this organization? Any traditions that you've seen that really is also exemplifies the level of engagement with the organization?
I've not seen the level of compassion in all my previous organization. I'm not saying it was missing. It was at a right level. But here, when I came to Novo Nordisk, Paul, honestly, it is to the next level. Let me give you an example. About a year ago, we bought oxygen concentrators in the organization, and we distributed them to all our sales offices and related offices. And you as an employee can take them home without asking any question if God forbid you need that for your family member or a close relative. So it's an expensive thing to make an investment on during those times. So when you and some of the employees unfortunately did use them for their families as well, and then when they came back, they said how relieved were we about this initiative by the organization. So I think the level of compassion in the organization is huge. That's number one. Number two is when you see organization growing as an employee, you want to be part of that journey. You don't want to be probably part of the organization that is continuously going down, or maybe a very stable organization for years. So as I said, this is now a third product in the pipeline in third consecutive year. People see a lot of promise in the organization. So not just the non-commercial actions that organization take place, but also they see a lot of meat in the organization in terms of it being sustainable for probably next 10, 15, 20 years.
Absolutely. So going forward, what are you guys doing in order to maintain that level of engagement? Competition is increasing for the awards. What are in the plans in order to maintain that level of engagement?
Okay, so maybe one or two new things that I'll explain, but formula again will be very simple. Continue to do what is working for you. Don't change that formula at all. Don't change that recipe for you. Stay connected. Keep that relationship going, develop employees, and not just develop, pull them through the ranks as well. So these are certain things. Apart from that, focus on their well-being. I'm an advocate of a theory, Paul, that companies do care a lot of their employees and their mental and physical well-being. But I always believe that it's the extension to those employees who you need to take care of. For instance, if someone in my family is not doing well in terms of well-being, I probably will not be relaxed or performing at my utmost level. So this is a new dimension that we are going into. How can we make sure that an employee has a very relaxed family system? For that, we're doing multiple things. How can we extend medical benefit? How can we provide a flexibility options to them? How can we provide them extended time off to them so that they spend a good quality time with their family members? That if in case they're unwell, how can company support to them? So these are the few things that we are doing in terms of performance, because performance is good. We've been achieving our numbers throughout the years which were hit by all COVID. So we're very confident they will be achieved in next 2-3 years as well, at least something that we see. But we need to take care of our employees so they keep taking care of the organization. Simple.
Oh, Awesome. In terms of the hybrid way of working, what practices are now deploying in order to life?
So absolutely flexible, Paul. As a management team, we're not even focusing or discussing about that old school of working. Nobody is concerned or asking question about who's coming to work, who's not. Technologically, we were very sound as an organization. Technologically, our society was very sound, so we faced no trouble. So we aim to continue flexibility. People should be accountable to deliver their task wherever they are. And we also learned that honestly, all managers were not accepting the fact. But I think now is a stage where, as a management team, we are promoting all those practices. So organization is also very well tuned. Only apart from those, what do you call, mandatory services, all employees are feel very relaxed and empowered to do their job from wherever they are.
So they can work from home 100% if they choose to do so.
If they choose to do so, yes.
Okay. There's no, and you don't see any negatives in terms of, because many companies are saying that, in terms of still be building a culture in which people collaborate and actually meet physically. That has also some benefit in terms of building that culture. You've not seen any drawbacks in doing that.
Yeah. So we are driving this or governing this through a remote work policy. So it has certain factors. Okay. For instance, there are events, there are meetings, there are monthly meetings they have to attend from workplace, physically, because that is part of the culture, but not on a routine basis. So yes, okay, culture will have to be intact, but that is governed through a policy, and we are making sure that a certain number of time or days they're spending at workplace, not because they have to be there, just because there's certain events happening, there's certain town halls happening at that time, and they should be part of it face to face.
So if you have to dispense any advice to an HR director aiming to become a best place to work, what would be your either number one or maybe even the top three if they're lucky?
I think the first, because what we are doing is we believe in that. So what we believe in, we thought it's a successful formula. I would always say that don't keep employees in an uncertain situation. Anyone would hate the uncertainty in the organization. A lot of us have bread and butter associated with the organization we're working for. And there are employees who give their days and nights and even blood to the organization. So give them a very, very clear picture. Keep them with the organization as much as possible, but give them a certainty, give them a very clear picture, give them a very proactive picture of their future, of their careers, whatever is happening in the organization. So this is a number one advice. Number two advice is we often forget to celebrate what we have achieved. There are cutthroat organizations in the culture. I've worked for them. I've seen them. You must have seen all of them as well. Sometimes we forget those small wins happening in the organization. For instance, I know a lot of organizations, Paul, that who could not achieve anything in past 2 years probably because of the situation. So they would say, okay, so we haven't achieved anything. We missed our target. We had to lay off employees. We could not manage our costs because of certain things. So I'm sure there must be certain things to celebrate as well. So when you celebrate small things, you keep your employees closer to you. Yes, I totally understand the commercial side of it as well. There's an organization to run as well. But if you can keep open communication with the employees and keep care of your employees, I think that's the number one thing. I'm not adding any commercial advice to the list. Why? Because there are commercial champs in the industry. They're doing so well. There's so innovative products coming in. Everyone knows about business so well. It's the human side that we all need to understand. And this is what will win you awards such as Best Place to Work.
Awesome. Well, Noman, thank you very much for that contribution, and I do hope that that companies, and I think for me the number one learning is to continue to communicate up and personal at the most frequent basis. And I've seen one or two other companies that have been very successful, not just business-wise, but also in terms of engagement-wise. And I'm very happy that that came out of our conversation today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was lovely knowing you.